Hello. This is the second part, number two. I'm coming to you. So today is the celebration of my 5th year anniversary in business. My name is Dineen Merriweather. I'm so excited that you are here today. Look, if you missed our first speaker, you missed something magnificent. It was Miss Quaya Cook. It was the money cook. So you need to go back and grab it. It was all about building a solid financial foundation. And if you feel like you need that, you need to go back and grab it. But right now, this conversation that I'm about to start is all about building a successful business from the ground up. And I'm going to speak to it from what it is that I do. Of course, I am a coach, and I want to introduce myself for you shortly, but I want you to come inside the room. Go ahead, get your notepad, get your pen, get ready. It's going to be hot and heavy. It may be even a little fast, but I'll recap it for you. I'll give you what it is that you need to make sure that you don't miss anything. And of course, if you have questions, I want you to definitely put those inside the chat. If I'm able to answer it, I'll definitely let you know. Good afternoon. How are you? Definitely let me know who you are. Drop your name so I can see, or give StreamYard permission so I can see your name, because I definitely love being in conversation. And I want to make sure that you're getting what it is that you need from today. And I'm happy that you showed up. All right, people are starting to come into the room. Thank you so much for coming. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. For some of you guys, you may know me, you may not know me. First, I'm going to ask you to share this video. It's my anniversary. You can at least do that. That's your way of giving to me as I prepare to give to you. So listen. My name is Dineen Merriweather. I am the founder and CEO of Queenpreneurs Jumpstart Program. It is the #1 training environment for women in the world looking to leverage their knowledge, ignite their passion, and build a highly profitable business. We do this by assisting you with building your courage, confidence, and competence so you can accept, believe, and commit to what it is that God has called you to do. All right. Hey, sissy, you back inside the building. So happy that you're still here. Tiki T, girl, you everywhere. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for showing up today. So happy that you are here. StreamYard is now allowing me to see your name, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Nikki, where you been? Nikki, where you been? Girl, I've been looking for you, but I'm so happy that you are here today. So look, get your notepads out. If you ever had that feeling, that desire that God was calling you to build something from the ground up, right? Then this is the conversation for you. But I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am married to an amazing man by the name of John Merriweather. We've been married for 17 years, going on 18 years this year. Yeah, y'all, it's been a minute. It's been a while. We've been locked in and loaded. And for some of you guys, you know that we met at church. So for those of you who don't believe that you can still meet a mate at church, I know that 17 years ago was a while, but it wasn't that long. It's not that far removed that you can actually meet someone at church. So look, if you ain't going to church or you're not involved in a spiritual family, you might want to come to Southside Everywhere and come meet your mate, or go to the Southside Church of Christ in Durham, North Carolina, located 800 Elmira Avenue. Yep, y'all know I had to put the plug in there. But look, so let me tell you who this conversation is for, just in case you're wondering whether or not you're in the right space, whether or not you should give me or offer your time. I don't want to take that for granted. Let me tell you that this conversation is for anyone out there that feels like God is calling them to start or build something from the ground up. If that's you, I want you to put it in the chat. That's me. Or maybe you want to have a career that actually gives you an opportunity to contribute in the world in a way that's more meaningful to you. Thank you so much for the anniversary shout outs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 5 years in the game. That is a minute for business owners. And for those of you who are out here, you know that that's a minute. And I'm thankful that God has given me that opportunity to be able to last as long as I have and to continue to stay in the game. Said, that's me. Yep, absolutely. Good. I'm glad. Then that means you're in the right space. I want you again to share this video, let people know that we are here, that we're having this conversation. And I'm so happy that you are part of this conversation. And just let people know that you're here inside this space. So who else is this conversation is for? If you know that God has something for you that you haven't moved forward on, maybe you're afraid, maybe you don't feel like you know enough, maybe you feel like you're too old or it's too late to actually do something that you love, or maybe that you're stuck in a situation and you can't get out, then this conversation is for you, because I'm going to give you the real what the story is like, what really happened, what the struggles have been, like all the things, no hold bars. We ain't holding nothing back. We're not lying. We're not sugarcoat. And I'm giving you the real talk because that's just what I do, right? But if that is your story, if that's where you are, then I want you to also raise your hand like, yeah, it's definitely time for me to make a move. It's time for me to believe in myself. It's time for me to gain the courage, belief in what it is that God is calling me to do, and I want to do it today. So let me tell you why I believe I'm the person that can hold this conversation. Number one, I've been in full-time business for 5 years. Whoop, whoop. I have been in the entrepreneur space for about 10 years. I have a degree in telecommunication with the concentration in radio productions from Morgan State University. I'm a Morgan Bear. For my hobbies, I love singing. You guys, I'm in several a cappella groups. And when I went into college, I actually went into radio because I actually want this name. Yep, I wanted to be the next Queen Bee or the first Queen Bee because I think I may have her by a couple of years. But I decided to do something else. I decided to build my skills as a marketing director, and I love working in radio. But working in radio is where I found that God was calling me to do something more. Put it in the chat if you know you need to do something more. Put in the chat, I need to do more. I need to do more. Like God is just showing you that you've outgrown your space, the space that you in, the space that you occupy. You may even dominate. You may even be really good at it because I'm telling you, planning events and doing events, I'm really, really good at it. I'm still hired and contracted to this day. I'm really, really good at it. But in my spirit, I knew that it was time for me to do something else. And in 2013, I started building, right? I started working towards it, but I was afraid. I was afraid to jump full-fledged out there, off the cliff without the parachute or even with the parachute on my back. I was not trying to jump. Why? Because I was accustomed to making money. I was afraid of losing things. I was afraid of putting myself out there. I didn't feel like I had a voice. I didn't feel like I had anything valuable to say. And if I'm on your street, I just want you to say, yep, you on my street. This is me. And I want you to get that is a human feeling when you're transitioning and shifting from your career to your calling, or a place that you've been for a really long time into a space that you know nothing about, that you have to start from the ground up, as I'm saying, it is very scary. It is very difficult. But here's the thing, and I keep telling you this because this is like one of the pillars in my mind that I always want to share with you, that it will take effort and it will take time, but I promise you it could be done. So let me tell you what actually happened. Right there, I was sitting in my manager's office, and I had just returned back from seeing Iyanla Van Zant. We was looking at booking her for our next women's empowerment to be one of the speakers. And my manager called me in, and he told me he wanted to see how the event went and how my interaction with her and her son went. And instead, it was actually him inviting me to the office to fire me. Yep. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I got fired. Like really, I got fired. And during that conversation, I definitely thought I was shocked, right? I was shocked. I was surprised. And in that moment, I really couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief, right? I just couldn't believe that it was happening. But in that moment, God told me, he whispered to me and he said, thank him for the opportunity. Put it in the chat. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. Because see, some of the things that we struggle with of letting go and holding on to way past its lifespan is because we may think that God don't have other opportunities for us. But I'm here to tell you that if he placed something in your heart, if he placed something in your mind to do, that there is another opportunity for you, but it's going to require you to let things go. Put it in the chat. Let it go. Let it go. Right. And in order for you to be able to be blessed with something new, you do know you have to make room for it. Put this in the chat. I got to make room for it. Put it in the chat. I got to make room for it. Now, I don't know what it is specifically that you have to do to make room for the thing that God is telling you to go out and grab or to jump into. But I know that you have to clear out the old way of thinking, the old way of living. All right, y'all chatting it up. I'm loving it. The old way of being. Like, there's some development that you have to do in order to be ready for the thing that God is saying he is blessing you for. But if you don't learn how to let go of the things that's already occupying the space that he wants to use for something else, it will not be any room for it. Put it in the chat. I got to make room for it. You know, that song by by Jonathan McReynolds. Make room for what it is that God wants to bless you with. Thank you, God, for being in space. Big 440 dog. What up, 40? Oh my God, how you doing? So happy that you're here in this space. Look, I'm coming to Jersey this summer. That's all I'm saying. So we definitely need to be in conversation. Hopefully I have an opportunity to connect with you. But when I was in that space and I got fired, y'all, and I actually was told in my spirit by God to say, just thank you for the opportunity. Like I said, I was scared. I was shocked. I was disappointed. I didn't know what it was that I was going to do. And God had told me 5 years before that he wanted me to teach speech, speak, and coach, right? And of course, in that moment, I was like, oh my God, it's happening for real. I don't feel prepared. I don't feel I'm ready. Now, mind you, I was taking baby steps, but I wasn't taking giant steps. Put it in the chat. Take the baby steps anyway. Put it in the chat. Take the baby steps anyway. Because y'all, this is what it takes. Building something from the ground up. Take the baby steps anyway, right? I was starting to go to different conferences and going into different spaces where people were speaking and teaching and doing the things that I believe God had called me to do. But I hadn't embraced it yet. I hadn't wrapped my loving arms around the calling, right? I was doing just enough to say that I was being obedient. Put it in the chat. Just enough to be obedient, right? And some of you guys, God have been calling you for a while to do something, and you've been doing just enough to say that you've been obedient. But I'm telling you, the time is coming when you're going to have to pay in full. Pay in full. Put it in the chat, pay in full. Because what I've learned about walking this journey of life with God is that he will eventually have his way, right? It could be by faith or by force. Put that in the chat. By faith or by force, by faith or by force. And not that he's going to drag you to the finish line, not that he's going to push you across or pull you across, but I promise you, life will begin to happen in a way that will cause you to make decisions and choices that you're either going to get in alignment or you're going to continue to be out of alignment. And see, in sister class this week, we talked about being out of alignment with your car and the wear and tear that it puts on your tires, and it's hard to steer. Life will become super hard to steer, to live, to control, to move, for you to be in a space if you continue to be out of alignment. So by faith or by force, put it in the chat. By faith or by force, you will get in alignment, because it's going to get so uncomfortable that you're not going to have a choice. So when I left that office that day, after telling him that, hey, I need 20 minutes just to grab the things that I want to take with me today. And it was a very, very respectful part of ways, right? I think I had a couple of months in order to get all the things that I wanted to get out of that office. But put this in the chat. I lost a lot. Put it in the chat. I lost a lot. And I'm going to tell you what I lost. I lost good credit. I lost money. I lost investment properties, right? I told you I'm not coming here to tell you going after your dreams or your goals don't mean that you don't have to let stuff go. You do. I lost a lot, right? Thank God I still had an amazing husband, health and strength, supportive family, but I lost a lot. But in order for you to sometimes gain the life that you want or be able to do the things that God has called you to do, you have to lighten the load. Put that in the chat. Lighten the load, right? It's like, bag lady, you're going to miss your bus. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. Now, y'all know I'm a radio head, right? I'm a music lover. So I got the songs for you, right? So sometimes you have to unload things in order to be able to move the way that God wants you to move. And I promise you, since that moment, since that release of the job, there were so many things in my life that I've been able to be present for that I wasn't able to be present for before, like my children and all the plays and events that they had, because in radio never closes, right? So it is almost a 24-hour job where you're being called or have to be in some location or some place. But I get that I lost some things. Put in that, I lost a lot. And some of you may be in that situation right now where you feel like, oh my God, if I go after my dream, I'm going to lose a lot. But here it is. Sometimes you have to lose in order to win. Do you get that? Put it in the chat. Sometimes I have to lose in order to win. And some of the things that I lost wasn't even like a big deal. But some of those other things, might have been like, losing an investment property. Well, that was pretty big. That was something that we were doing for our future, right? A way of building income that will be there for us when we retire. But guess what? I'm still at an age where we're able to rebuild and we're able to do things to regain the things that we lost. And that's exactly what it is that we're doing. But I want you to get that sometimes you have to lose to win. So let me go ahead and give you these points, these bricks on how to build your business from the ground up, right? And what it's actually going to take in order for you to go after that dream, to realize that dream, to make it happen. And I'm going to give you the steps from me building my coaching business, my teaching business, because that's what I've done. But I promise you the things that I'm going to teach you will be applicable for whatever business it is that you're building, or what you believe God has called you to do. So the first thing, brick number one, I want to give you these bricks and I want you to write them down, right? So it's all about the 7 bricks to build your business from the ground up. So the first thing is you have to identify your niche. So what do I mean by identifying your niche? Well, you got to discover where your strengths are, the skills that you have, your expertise. Now, for me, I'm affectionately known as the results coach, right? That means if you come into my space, you're going to get results. That means you can't bring your reasons, you can't bring your excuses, you can't be complaining, you can't be bringing all these things that's going to prevent you from moving forward with what it is that you say that you want. And everybody may not be able to work in that environment, or someone with this personality, right? That's why the people that's for me is for me, the people that are for you, for you. That's why there's so many people doing a particular skill, because it takes all types of people to make the world go round. It takes some people that's forceful, some people that's drill sergeants, some people that's easy and kumbaya. Now I ain't easy and I ain't kumbaya, so I wouldn't be your coach, right? I'm more of the person like, okay, I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm going to be straight and direct with you. I want to tell you what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're not doing. And I want you to choose. I want you to make a decision and decide, how do you want to move forward? Do you really want to obtain this new business or this goal that you set in life? So my strength is getting results, meaning I can't take your excuses. Do you get that? But there's something strong about you and your personality, your skill set. What is it? Drop it in the chat. What do you know about yourself? Right? And it took me actually being with one of my brand managers at the time when I first started. And he told me, like, Dineen, people follow you because of your confidence and the courage that you have. That's your secret sauce. So you got to figure out what's your secret sauce. That's why I can get results. That's why I help people get results, because I show them how to walk in life confidently with courage, and then building their competency along the way. So what is your niche? What is that thing that you're good at that nobody can do like you? I want you to write it down, write it in the chat, write it on your pad. There is something special about you. What is that thing that your friends always come to you for? Now, for me, it has always been advice. I've always been coaching. Like, I've always been the person that could give you a different perspective on how you're seeing a situation at any given time in your life. But what is it for you? What is the secret sauce? What is it that people, okay, somebody said, I'm a helper. She ain't lying. That's right. She ain't lying. So what is your secret sauce? Yes, Tiki T. What's your secret sauce? What is it that you got that ain't nobody else got? Or something that your family and your friends say about you all the time? Is it that you're a great listener? Is it that you're an encourager? Is it that you make things happen? Is it that you're organized, or you're on time? You're super punctual? Like, whatever it is, like, there's so many different things and strengths that I have. And I have taught on those things in my business, right? When it comes to keeping the calendar, I have taught that. I mean, to this day, people who I've taught how to keep their calendar, they always come to me, Dineen, I live by this calendar, right? Because anything that you want to exist in your life has to be in the calendar, in existence. If it's not in the calendar, it don't exist. Do you get that? It's just a dream. It's just a wish. It's just out there in the world. There's no way for you to capture it and pull it towards you, because you have nothing in place to make sure that it's happening. Do you get that? So if you find yourself doing a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of wishing, and a whole lot of praying for stuff to happen, but it's not happening, and you wondering why you wake up every morning and you walking around here like you don't have items on your list to do because you've written it down nowhere and it's not in your calendar, then you need to keep a calendar, or you need to invest in coming and working with me so we can get your whole life together, so you can have a schedule and knock out these goals one by one. But find your niche, identify your niche. Okay, number two, you need to develop your skills. Now, look, you think I didn't have to develop my skills as a speaker, teacher, and coach? Yes, I did. I went to Brendan Burchard's events. I've taken his courses. I've invested in his programs, Lisa Nichols, Iyanla Van Zant. You name it, I've done it. I've done all the things to help build. And I also have a certification as a life coach, right? Meaning I went through a curriculum for 6 months to a year to come up with different methods that will help people reach goals in different areas of their life. So my focus areas in my coaching business is health, right? Physical, which is health, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Those are the four quadrants within my coaching business. So if you come to me, we're going to touch upon all of that, because whatever's breakdown or issue that you're having in any area of your life, I promise you it's in the rest of the areas of your life as well. That one thing, whatever it is, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Y'all heard it in John Wick. Did y'all see John Wick 4? Was amazing. But anyway, put that in the chat. How you do anything is how you do everything. So look at your life, look at your skills, look at how you show up in a place. And there are some things that you know that you need, right? If it means that you need to work on being more punctual, then that's the thing that you need to get training in. If you need to be able to build your commitment to certain things or have integrity, then you got to start working on these things, developing your skills, because your clients are going to be looking for someone that can provide things for them that they ain't got. And if you always late and never on time, you can't teach me nothing. Okay, I'm telling you now. So there are some things that you have to develop within yourself in order to prepare yourself to be able to lead the people that you want to lead. Number three, build your brand. So what do I mean by building your brand? Well, you already know that you want to have a business. Go ahead and start building the website. Go ahead and get your values together, your mission statement together, your colors, the type of things that you want to do to serve people. Remember yesterday, I started this conversation on how to build from the ground up, and I asked you 4 questions. If you missed it, I'm going to give you the questions now just because you're here and you're in this space. So this is the bonus. This was the pre-work, right? The question was, what or who is it that you want to serve, right? Who is it that you want to serve? What do you want to build? Like, what type of business do you want to build? Why do you want to serve them? Why do you want to serve these people? Like, what is the pain point? What's the thing that charge you up that you want to assist them with to make or give them an opportunity of a better life? And how do you want to deliver these services? For me, it's through coaching, speaking, and teaching. How are you going to do it? Maybe it's the same way. Ain't no knock at doing it, right? How do you want to do it? She said, okay, I'm resourceful, good listener, helpful. Nikki, okay, you got it. So you know, so what type of business could you develop or that you could create that you could use your resources or being a good listener? Now, I'm telling you, coaching is a good space for listening, right? My listening, I'm always developing it. But my goal is to be able to hear the things that you're not saying to me. And in order for me to be able to do that, I have to develop the skill, right? I have to work and be in conversation and learn how to listen and recreate people and tell them what it is that they said to me to make sure that I got it, right? Not always being quick to speak. See, this is all scripture, right? Be slow to speak, quick to hear. You want to listen, right? It's a skill so you can actually get where people are coming from. And one of my lessons this week, I told you that you wanted to focus more on understanding than being understood, right? The seek to understand rather than be understood. And we didn't get it back in the day, right? We always want to get our point across. We want to be the person that says the last word. But when I'm telling you, when people get that you got them, whether you agree with them or not, it changes the whole dynamic of the conversation. Like, if you really want to start changing the lives of the people that are around you, learn how to listen. Put it in the chat. I'm going to learn how to listen. Put it in the chat. I'm going to learn how to listen. Don't defend. Don't come with the comeback, because you know you always got time to speak your piece. Like, it's never too late for you to say what it is that you have to say. You will have an opportunity to do that. But I want you to learn how to listen to your kids. Learn how to listen to your parents. Learn how to listen to your friends. Listen to your loved ones. It's going to change your complete life. I'm stuck between a few ideas. Throw out some of the ideas. Put them inside the chat. I'm here for you. We're in conversation. This is live. I'm going to learn how to listen. All right, TPT? That's a charge. Learn how to listen, baby. You got to learn how to listen. It will bless your complete life. Because do you get People tell you so much of what it is that they want to say behind what they're saying. If you are listening, like, you can hear so many things. Okay, Lauren said, I'm learning how to listen. You got to learn how to listen. I'm telling you, you just don't understand. A lot of the struggles that we have in the relationships in our lives is because we don't listen. We always ready to talk, and sometimes you just need to listen. And if you just start, and I think it's all right for you to take notes. I remember when I was dating back in the day, like when I was younger, I would let my boyfriend say whatever it is he had to say, but I'd be taking them notes, right? I was like, okay, this is what he said. I want to make sure that I got it, right? So remember, I was doing this way before I knew that this was my gift, right? This was just naturally who I was, just a good listener and able to see things from different perspectives, right? The glass, some people see the glass half empty. Other people see the glass half full. For me, I'm thankful that I even got a glass. Do you see that perspective? Like, very few people say that, but to have a glass is the blessing by itself. Because what if you had to hold it in your hand? How long do you think you can hold the water with that hole right there in the middle? You see that hole right there? No matter how much you try to close it, the water ain't going to stay in. It's going to seep out eventually. Do you get what I'm saying? So you got to be thankful that you even have something to hold whatever the blessing is in. And if it's a glass, be happy you got the glass. If it's a bucket, be happy you got a bucket. If it's the vessels that God told the lady, the widow, to get for the oil, then it's a vessel. Maybe it's more than vessel. You know, when God keep telling us, and we keep praying for God to pour out a blessing. And this is how I feel about my business, right? I keep saying, God, I want to make additional money. God, I want to be able to have financial wealth. God, I want to have a legacy for my family. And he's like, okay, go get the bucket. Well, your business is the bucket, because you keep telling God that you want to make additional income, but you're not doing anything or providing him with anything to pour into. Do you get that? He has to have something to pour into. So if you only got the 9-to-5 job and you keep asking God, okay, God, I really need you to bless me. I need additional income. And he's like, okay, but you done maxed out all the positions at this job. There's a couple of things that you could do. You could find a new job that you can make all the money that you want to make, right? With the one job. Or you could create some other buckets that God can pour into. Do you get what I'm saying? So stop asking God to be blessing you with more, with more, with more. You got to give him something to pour into. Do y'all get that? Do y'all smell what I'm cooking? Tell me that you got it inside the chat. Say, I got it, Dineen. I got it. And then I'm going to move on, right? I'm going to move on to the next point. But you got to tell me that you got it. Give God something to work with. Give God something to work with. So make sure you're building your brand. Start doing the work. Build the website. Get the business cards. Do whatever it is in digital. Whatever it is that you need to do to start getting ready, do it, because he's giving you time to prepare. Remember in my story, God had told me 5 years prior to me getting fired to go ahead and start building the thing, and I was doing just enough. Remember, put it in the chat. I was doing just enough to say that I'm obedient. I was doing just enough. Don't be like me. I'm sharing this story so for you not to be like me in that aspect. I don't want you to be like me. Don't wait until you have to jump. Don't wait until he pushes you off the cliff. Don't wait until it's by faith or by force. Decide now to start developing the thing that he's placed on your heart to develop, because you don't know what's happening tomorrow. He's giving you time now. Do the work now. Number four, make your market your services. So you got to start telling people what it is that you do, like right now, like start networking, creating people and relationships with people who are doing the same things. Like, I'm in several masterminds. I have 5, 5, and 5. I know y'all may have heard this before, but it's never enough to hear it over and over again, because repetition is the key. Put it in the chat, 5, 5, and 5. I'm gonna tell you what 5, 5, and 5 is. Put it in the chat, 5, 5, and 5. Market your services, 5, 5, and 5. So let me tell you the 5, 5, and 5. So 5 people that I pour into, right? That means whether they pay me or not, there's 5 people in my life that I'm consistently pouring into, from conversations to coaching to whatever. And then there's 5 people that I'm growing with, meaning there's peers that I have, people that I do business with, that I do partnerships with, that we collaborate with together, that we help each other build our businesses and allow each other to come to each other's group to talk, right? 5, 5, and 5. So, and then there's 5 people that I admire, that I study from, that I read their books, that I go to their courses, that I go to their classes, that I travel to see, right? It's the 5, 5, and 5. Put it in the chat, 5, 5, and 5. So market yourself, build these relationships, get to know the people that you need to know in order for you to grow. And you got to become a humble servant to what it is that you're working in, right? Don't be afraid to ask people for help. Don't be afraid to ask people for guidance, and get that sometimes you got to swipe a card in order to get the help that you need. So don't be shy to spend money to invest in yourself. Now we're going to get there because that's one of the building bricks. But I want you to know sometimes you're going to have to invest. And here's the thing that I learned from people who are already doing what I'm doing that I want help from. People that are already successful in the area that you want them to teach you in, they're more apt to help you when you're making movements. You have momentum, that you're taking action. Now, you can't be still at the thinking phase trying to figure it out. Like, you need to be in action, maybe even having a struggle, maybe even having a breakdown in your business, because they want to know that you in the game for real. Put this in the chat, put some skin in the game, because people who want to offer or give their time, they don't want to waste time. They don't want to give it to people that ain't going to take the nuggets that they're given and actually run with it or take action. So make sure that you're taking steps towards your goal before you start entering into spaces and asking people who are already successful in this particular industry to help you when you haven't started taking any steps. If you know that you're afraid and you're still trying to get your confidence build up and your courage build up and you're not really taking no action, don't burn no bridges. Don't go reaching out to people to help you because you're not ready yet. You need to get some coaching and build your courage, confidence, and competence. Okay? Do you get it? It's part of it. Remember, I was afraid. I played with it for 5 years. But when it was time for me to start generating that money, I had to do it by faith or by force because I had lost a lot. Remember, put it in the chat. Don't forget the beginning of the story. I lost a lot. Put it in the chat. I lost a lot. Okay. Number five is develop your client base. Now, how do you develop your client base? Well, for me, I started giving it away. Do y'all understand what I did? I started giving it away. So during the height of the pandemic, this is when the world first shut down and I wasn't able to travel anymore, right? So I had to start building all my things online. So in order to help people that was having mental struggles, breakdowns during the pandemic, because it was hard for people. Some people live alone and they were in the house alone and they were having mental issues. I started doing free group coaching sessions. I started giving it away. Now I want you to I got clients from that, right? This is the whole thing. Like, you want to give it away, especially when you don't have any clients. Give the service away. So if you want to speak, start speaking for free. If you want to coach, start coaching some people for free. Now, there's things that you should be collecting, like testimonials and checking the results and building your methodology, taking them through a process to see what's working and what's not working so you can tweak it, but give it away. Start building your client database, because in order for you to be able to start monetizing what it is you're doing, you have to have some evidence that your stuff works. Do you understand? Especially if you're into the intellectual property space, which is like coaching, teaching, and speaking, where you're selling information, where you're selling your intellect. Now, for those of you who have products, you don't necessarily have to give it away, but maybe for a certain group, like somebody with a particular exposure that you want to wear at their event, like maybe you make a beautiful shirt for them or a beautiful piece or garment for them in order for them to mention your name, then you give it away in that aspect. And some people who write books, like maybe you're an author, you want to write a book, certain spaces you should give it away. It's like a business card, and certain people should just get a copy of your book so they can mention it on their podcast or in their radio show or at their live event, or they may even give you an opportunity to be a speaker on the event if you give all of the participants a copy of your book. But build your database, build your client database, go wherever you need to go, speak wherever you need to speak, right? There's a season where you just have to give it away. Get the seeds in the ground. Put this in the chat. Put the seeds in the ground. Put the seeds in the ground. Because you know what happens when the seeds go in the ground, right? At some point, you will have a harvest, but you got to put the seeds in the ground. Put the seeds in the ground. Put it in the chat. Put the seeds in the ground. Put the seeds in the ground. Number six. This is the block number 6. You need to provide high quality services. Now, that means you need to be doing surveys. You need to be checking in with your clients to see what it is that they like, what they don't like. Are they getting the results that they expected, right? You have to continue to check in, and then whatever feedback they give you, make the tweaks, right? In certain spaces, my clients were saying, oh, Dineen, your classes are too long, or Dineen, some of your programs are too long, right? Like, I don't want to commit that long. Can you do a shorter version of it, right? Or sometimes people told me my prices was too low, girl. Now, they should have never told me that. I mean, they should have, but I thank God that they did, but you get all types of feedback, and you need to take heed to the feedback and make the shifts where you need to make the shifts, right? But provide high quality service. Make sure that you're giving them and meeting the expectations of your client, and you're checking in with them. And if you're not getting it, make the tweaks that you need to tweak in order to make sure that they speak well of you, because that's how you want to get your clients as well, by referrals. You want to make sure that you build some type of referral program, or that you're asking your people to share your information. Like right now, I want you to go ahead and share this video. Share this video. If you haven't shared this video, share this video. Why are you not sharing my video? It's free. This free content. Share my video. Give it to the world. Look, all right. And the final block, number 7, the brick. Here it is. Continue to grow. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you got to develop yourself, continue to stay in classes, continue to get the training, continue to show up for the courses, continue to be in spaces where you could grow to the next level. Because if you don't, your client's going to pass you. Like, they're going to be developing and going other places and getting what they need and adding these pieces, and you're going to be in the same place, and they're going to be like, oh, your conversation changed. Like, if you listen to Quaya Cook, which is my client, and she actually spoke first, she opened up the program. She said every year Dineen is developing something else. She's developing some new program, right? Because I'm continuing to grow, and I want to take my clients with me. So your goal is to stay 10 to 20 steps ahead of your client, because you want them to be able to grow with you, meaning you got to continue to grow, because eventually they're going to catch up, right? Whatever it is you're teaching them, hopefully they're getting it, and they're starting to see results, and they're starting to develop themselves. So you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing. Continue to grow, continue to develop, continue to get in a space and in front of people that can help you grow. Okay, quick recap. So brick number 1 is to identify your niche. Brick number 2 is to develop your skill, like build your skill, work on something. You know that you're good at something, work on it. Number 3 is build your brand. It's never too early to build your brand. Start working on those pieces so you're not stressed out. If you know you want a website, start working on the website. Start getting your content together on what you want to put on your website. Start thinking about the navigation bar, like about the information. Like, that took me a long time to figure out what I wanted on my navigation bar, right? Market your services. Market what it is that you're doing right now before all the pieces are finished, before you get the first client. Like, just start marketing yourself. Tell people what it is that you're up to and what you're doing. Develop your client space, your base. Give it away. It is all right, because the more that you give it away, eventually people are going to want to pay for it if it's of what? High quality. That's number 6. Make sure it's of high quality, and you're giving people something that they actually can use, that they actually see results from, and finally continue to grow. So look, I want to give you all an opportunity right now to be in a space with me. Like, if you feel like starting a business is something that you want to do, I want to give you an opportunity. I have this amazing digital course, which still gives you access to me. It is called Queenpreneur's Jumpstart Program. It's where you learn how to build your business from the ground up. So creating the LLC, the incorporation, getting the mission statement, the value statements, getting all the beginning pieces, your first product. See, my promise is when you leave the class, you'll have your first product. So if you don't know what to sell, if you don't know your ideal client, you need to niche down. All this stuff is in this 8-week program. So I want you to join me. Today, I'm running a special for the digital program. Is $400. You could click it now and register. I'll meet with you once a week, but it's at your own pace, and you should knock these out once a week. If you want your business up and running in 8 weeks, you could do it in Queenpreneur's Jumpstart Program. You get a workbook, you get the information, and you also get access to me. There's also a group of people who have been through the program before you. So if you post inside the group and ask your questions inside the group, you have a community that can assist you as well. But I don't want you to think because it's a digital course, you don't have access to me. You do have access to me. I'm going to drop it again inside the chat. $400 8-week program, access to me for the 8 weeks of your program. While you're in it, you can reach out, set up a call. We could be in conversation. If you're struggling with any of the pieces, I will help assist you and answer your questions. But you can get this business built from the ground up. You can find out who your avatar is, your ideal client, pick your niche, figure out what your mission statement is going to be. Learn how to introduce yourself, so when you're invited to come back here on a platform like this for an anniversary celebration, you're able to do it. You're able to speak in a way that people get, that you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, you had some form of training, and you're ready to start monetizing what it is that you're. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much. She is a queenpreneur for sure. Tiffany has done several other programs. She did Queenpreneur's Jumpstart, and she also did Becoming the Change, which is something that I'll be talking about later on today. But if you want to do Queenpreneur's Jumpstart program, this is an opportunity for you to go ahead, lock in, get loaded, get your business built from the ground up. Whatever business that is going to show you how to put it in place. All the things that you need is the beginning pieces, it's the website, it's the marketing materials, all the things that I talked about today is within that program. So look, hopefully you will invest, jump in. I look forward to training you. I look forward to being in a space with you. If you have questions, DM me. Like right now, I'm going to go, when I end this, I'm available. If you want to be in conversation with me, be in conversation with me. If you have questions about the program, or if you want to, she said, okay, Tiffany, thank you, Tiffany. She said, yes, these programs give you the legit tools. Yes. And once you get it, you got it. It's a workbook. You download it. You'll have it. It's a checklist, like step by step. If you follow the step, it'll be built. Step by step, every module you take, it is like in a succinct order, meaning you need to take the first class or the second class, like it is in an order, particular order. So by the end, you'll have that product or know what your first product is going to be. Because here's what I did when I first started my business, right? I would do lives on social media. I've been doing lives or videos. I'm going to say videos on social media. I know since probably 2014. I didn't do my first live until maybe 2019. Okay. But I was doing live videos and I had no product to sell. Like in my mind, the product was, speaking engagements, right? But I had no one sheet. I had nothing that was going to help me actually sell my services, even as a speaker. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you being here online, live, putting in all this work, showing up consistently when you don't have nothing to sell. See, every time you crack the mic open, you should be leading your clients somewhere. You should be putting seeds in the ground in order for them to invest in what it is that you want them to invest in, right? So I do a lot of sowing seeds. I do a lot of giving content away, but it is to strategically lead people to one of my programs. Just like the points that I gave today, the what and the how today, or really is the what. The how is inside the program, right? There's even certain things that you need to do and talk about when you go live to lead people where you want them to go. And you'll get that training inside this program. So you're not cracking open the mic, wasting time thinking you're leading people somewhere when in actuality, your words are not leading them anywhere. And I don't want that to happen to you. I did how many years? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I didn't have my first product until 2020. Do y'all get that? My first product wasn't until 2020. I have a live event in 2019. It was the the Unacceptable tour. Y'all see the Unacceptable shirt. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's the Unacceptable. It was the Unacceptable tour, right? It's hashtag unacceptable. Put it in the chat. Hashtag unacceptable. It's unacceptable for you not to do what it is that God has called you to do. That's what's hashtag unacceptable. And I want you to get that. It was unacceptable then. It's still unacceptable now, right? But we're building that into Queenpreneur's Jumpstart program, and then Becoming the Change for those of you who still mentally may not be ready to do like the business pieces. Maybe you need to build your courage, confidence, and competence. We'll talk about that during the Becoming the Change segment, and I'll be able to tell you what that looks like. It's a group coaching program, and that will help you build those beginning pieces so you can stop struggling with getting out here and jumping, because it is going to require you getting into the world of performance and not just staying in the world of reasons in your head, right? Things that you want to do, why you can't do it, why it can't work right now. Like all those things are reasons that's preventing you from taking the actions that will actually get you the results that you want. So, okay, I'm affectionately known as a results coach. If you're ready to start your business, hop in now. $400, 8-week program. You have me for 8 weeks. You'll have a community to assist you, ask all your questions. And in 8 weeks, you'll have your business along with what your first product will be when your business gets off the ground. Always looking forward to serving you. You guys, a dynamic speaker coming up next. You don't want to miss her. Her name is Janelle Pulley. She's coming up at 1:00 p.m. Stay locked and loaded. Get your notepads. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing the video. If you shared the video, let me know you shared the video, because I'm trying to give some stuff away, but y'all got to play the game. So share the video. Let me know you shared the video. DM me, tag me at Dineen. I shared, so I can go check it out, see where you shared it to, and all those things. Always looking forward to serving you. I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock with Janelle Pulley. We're going to have this conversation about legacy matters. Legacy matters. I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.